Hey, I'm Eric Keach. I'm here with Lindsay Belden, and she is another amazing, amazing client over at the Transformation Club. And she's here today to talk about her story. She's here to talk about the results she's seen, where she's come from, what it's like to be a part of the Transformation Club, and everything else in between. So, Lindsay, thank you so much for taking the time to come on, share your story, and fill us in with everything.
Sure, thanks.
All right, so let's do this. Let's give everybody kind of like a brief background of what you were going through, kind of like what you were struggling with a little bit before you decided to hop on board and train at the Transformation Club.
Sure. So when I started at the club, I was about 6 weeks post-birth from my second child. I had gained a lot of weight with the pregnancy. I pretty much, during pregnancy, you can just eat whatever you want. Well, that's what I did. And I gained a lot of weight. So after I had my son, I was ready for a big change. I needed to lose weight. I was kind of embarrassed on how I looked. I didn't want to be in pictures or anything like that. So I was ready for something. And that's when I started looking for a solution. And that's where the Transformation Club came into play.
So there was a frustration, right, in terms of like how you felt, like you were saying, how you looked, and it was just enough to motivate you to say, okay, I'm really going to look for something that is going to really help me.
Yeah, I just wasn't me anymore at that point. I'd changed into something that I was embarrassed of. I felt horrible. I felt like I looked
Mm.
horrible, so I just needed something.
Okay, and there's a lot of places out there, right, to choose from or pick from, different places. What was it about Transformation Club that stood out to you and said, I think this is going to be the place that's for me?
I mean, I had tried, chain fitness places in the past, and my typical pattern was I would start there, I would go for a couple weeks, sweat on the treadmill, and hope that a miracle would happen, and that just didn't happen for me. So I started just looking for something different, and that's where the Transformation Club came into play.
Okay. And so you walked in, right? I'm sure first time, first couple times, you're probably a little bit nervous. But I'm curious to
Yes.
know, like with that nervousness, did they do a good job of kind of like alleviating that sense of tension or nervousness? Like, did they make you feel comfortable?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, at that point, I still had weak joints after you have a baby. There's certain things you can and can't do, and that's something that's really great about the Transformation Club too, is there wasn't things I could do, and that's the case for a lot of people that start there. And one thing that they do have that's amazing is their bracelet system. So they essentially do an assessment of you when you come into the club, and they can see what things that are you're limited by at that time. And they cater your workouts to those limitations. Eventually, you can get out of those limitations, which is awesome as you get stronger. But yeah, they for sure work with you when you start.
So it can be for anybody walking in, right? Like you were just, a few weeks after having a baby, but anybody can basically come in and train there.
Yeah, anybody, shoulder problems, knee problems, hip problems, whatever kind of problems you have, they work with you to get you stronger, and a lot of people start losing most of those limitations.
Okay. And tell me, as you go in there, right, you've gotten comfortable, it's working for you. What's the atmosphere like? Like what's it like to be around everybody there and being part of that place?
It's I think it's just energetic. So right when you walk in, you feel like you're part of a family. You're greeted by your name. Everybody's so positive. Everybody knows who you are. It's like a little family there, and you just feel like it's not overwhelming. You just feel comfortable.
Okay, so it's just kind of you mentioned the phrase a family. Like, so is there it sounds like to me that there's a support structure kind of built in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What they really strive or focus on is the fact that they're a team there at the club. There's not one person doing anything. So everybody is working together to help you achieve your goals, whether that's fitness and nutrition, stress, all of that kind of stuff. They work together with you as a team.
And I'm guessing since they're working together with you as that team, it's kind of like, a family, but is there a social element? Is it more than just kind of like going and working out and doing different weight training things?
Yeah, I mean, I go really early, so I'm in there and out of there, but I know that there's a lot of people that have, coffee after class together and have their little get-togethers and stuff. So, yeah, absolutely, you build relationships with the people there. It's not just strangers next to you on a treadmill. I mean, you're there achieving stuff together, and you see right in front of your eyes how each other's bodies are changing and getting better, and you can be right there to encourage each other, which is great.
Okay, so you've got this family atmosphere, support structure, a comfort to it. Let's talk about how all that's helped you. Let's talk about the results that you've seen. So kind of dive into that. Like what types of changes and transformations have you seen while being a member there?
Sure. As I mentioned, when I got out of the hospital, I was probably around 190 pounds. I didn't weigh myself really after that because I didn't want to
Hmm.
see the scale. But I'm guessing that's where I was at when I started at the club. And within the first 6 months, I had lost 55 pounds. And that was amazing to me. I mean, I was working hard, I was eating healthy, but the fact that there was that much impact by what I was doing was not something I'd ever seen before. And that has been about a year now that I've kept it off, and I hover under 135 pounds, which is pretty small for me. And that's what I weighed at my wedding. But I would call myself soft then. I was a little fluffier at 135. Now I'm very lean and muscular. So even at 135 pounds now, I'm 2 sizes smaller than I was at my wedding.
Wow.
Just because of the body difference when you actually work out versus just lose weight.
So obviously there's been a physical change, right? You've lost weight, you've toned up, you've firmed up, a lot of those types of things. But has it done anything else for you? Has there been a difference in maybe energy levels or emotion or anything along those lines?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, as you can imagine, I have two kids. I have two little boys under 4,
Hmm.
and they keep me very busy. I do work out very early in the morning, so I actually find that by waking up at like 4:30 in the morning and going to work out those days, I have way more energy on those days than on the days that I'm not working out. So I don't think I could have ever imagined myself waking up that early and being excited to get up that early before joining the club, but it's been amazing. And you know, throughout the day too, I don't have that afternoon crash that I would at 3 o'clock in the office sitting in front of a desk. I just don't have that kind of stuff anymore because between the fitness levels I've gotten to and the type of healthy eating habits I've gotten from the club, it's just a different lifestyle.
What's this done for your confidence? Because before, right, you were like you said, in a way, you were just not happy with where you were before. You're in a different place now. What's this done for your confidence?
I bought tank tops for the first time in probably a few years after I lost my weight because I was finally proud of my arms. I think that's one thing with women is, your arms are kind of, you feel vulnerable for some reason. You don't want to have sleeveless tops or wear things like that. So that was something I was really excited about. But yeah, I'm confident I can go into the store and try stuff on and I don't have to worry about oh, what size am I going to wear in this? I feel happy about where I'm at. I feel happy about taking my kids to swimming lessons and going with them and being in a swimsuit because I look great. And I've never felt like that before. So it's just a total difference.
So it's not just transformed the physical aspect, right? There's the mental and emotional side that it's helped to transform as well.
For sure. Yeah. And, it hasn't been just a change for me. It's been a change for my husband and my kids as well. I'm not just cooking for me, I'm cooking for my whole family. And, my husband sees how I commit to fitness now, and he's done the same thing. So it's become a top priority in our whole family, just in not just in mine.
So this has been life changing, just not for you, but for a lot of people.
For sure. Yeah. And absolutely on my friends too. They see the difference and they're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And, I try and be my own little personal trainer for them to tell them what changes I've made. But yeah, it's definitely contagious. People see it and they want that too.
So you've got this place that's supportive, encouraging. There's a social element to it. It's transforming not just your lives, your family's lives, but everybody else's in between. And let's say someone's hearing your story and they're like, wow, I'm in the same position that she was right after she had a baby. And they're looking for places, but they're kind of maybe on the fence about this place. They're not 100% sold just yet. What would you want to say to that person?
I would say if you've kind of done the things that I have and tried, doing it by yourself, going to the gym, getting on the treadmill, going on fad diets, yo-yo diets, all that stuff, and it just doesn't seem to be working for you, then just try something new. I mean, you're going to see, if you come to the club, you're going to see that um, you're going to see the changes for sure, and it's going to be worth it. It's hard work. Anything worth having is hard work. But if you make it a priority and you make it a life change versus a temporary thing, you're going to be so happy.
Well, Lindsay, I appreciate you taking some time out of the day today to come on, share your story, and share your results, which have been pretty incredible. And I just want to thank you for doing that, and I want to wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Thank you.
All right, take care.